No. No, it's not in.
Good grief, we've got the lady.
Bugger. Today we're going to carry on with our Prusa Core One build. We're going to be working on the frame, the heat bed, maybe some of the panels. We've got a lot to do, so let's bash in some screws. I'm Chris. Welcome to Coding with My Dogs.
So we'll start with the assembly of the back panel. What we need to do is to put a few grommets into this, and then I believe we're attaching the power supply and the buddy board enclosure to that to have everything all nicely enclosed. And then we're putting the chamber fans and thermistor and various other bits and pieces together like that.
So we've already prepared the back panel and these various grommets and screws. What we need to be doing is orienting the box like this. Then we're plugging in the smaller grommet and the sealed plug or grommet plug into this one here. And then one more small grommet in this top piece below the fan slots.
So we locate it with these two at the back there. We need to put the sealing grommet into this one. So when it says smaller diameter facing downwards, it basically means the side that's open goes that way, and then the side that's closed in will go like so. And then one of the smaller diameter grommets to go into that one there. So in order to assist with this, I'm going to just slightly raise it off the ground like so. And then we can take this, make sure that lower edge is facing down. Do what we can to just stuff that edge in place. And that snaps in just like so. This other one, we have to do that same trick of just trying to widen up one side of it like that. Push that into the hole. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing there. And then just there to locate. And the final small grommet I need to put into this hole here at the back. Like so.
And next we put in one of the larger grommets here, leaving this hole open. And same again on the other side.
And the remaining two large grommets first goes into this hole back here. Not the first one. That's the one closest to the top. Yes, proving quite as easy as these small grommets. And then same on this other side, will come from the other edge. And that's good enough for me.
So with that done, next up we are placing the PSU into here, and then looks like it aligns, the screws we already put in align with these slots, and then we just put it in and presumably, then orient that into the slot and then tighten the screws.
So just bring it forward like so. screws in place, and then slide it that way. Now we just need to turn this a little bit and we can fully tighten both of those screws. Like so. And that's that. So we do the same with the xBuddy assembly. Slide it in like so, slide forwards. Fully tighten those screws.
And then finally, we need to put these two screws in here and here.
See if I can do this without dropping the screw. Keeping it in frame. Lovely. And that's that done.
And now we are going to be putting in the power cables and attaching them to the terminals for the heat bed and for the main power there on the main board. It's showing how to orient the incoming power supply cable. So the lowest part goes lowest on the connection. So where it comes out towards the bottom of this cable like so, then that's how we orient it. And then when we have this cable come from the xBuddy, then that goes on top like so. And then we're doing that for the, I'm not sure it matters. I don't think it matters which way round they come from the two different sides of the power supply. They're both equally rated. So positive and negative, unlike the power supply itself, where positive, positive, negative, negative. So better make sure we get those the right way round, or this printer won't last very long.
310 RT block screw. We need 2 of those. Hello, Captain Scrunch. We're sorting out the screws. These aren't sweeties. No, okay. So you go straight away because they're not sweeties. Bye bye, Captain Scrunch.
So taking the terminal like so, making sure that the terminal itself undercuts. In other words, the lowest spot on this terminal goes lowest. That connects there like so. Put the screw into it. Oh, Mr. T! Nice of you to come and help. You're no good with a screwdriver though, are you? So put that down like so. Get the screw in there. And we are golden, if you'll pardon the pun. Oh, good grief, we've got the lady. Is she going to help? No, she's not going to help at all. Okay, let's carry on. Next screw. Taking this, making sure we undercut like so. And that's in, so we've got red and black from the first two. And this third is red.
It's going to be a little tricky. Maybe we'll put the screw into this one first. I can use that to make sure that this one is correctly located. Keeping my finger on top, and guaranteed I've cocked it up. Let's try it this way. No, it's not going to work. Okay, let's try it like this. Of course that pings out. Why wouldn't it? But I think I accidentally got them in the right place. Let's just keep this nice and straight as per the diagram. That's difficult because it wants to turn. I don't want to be taking any of these caps off the top of the board. Well, that should do us. To turn away from the threaded hole anyway, so that's all no problem at all.
And then we need to just orient the power panic cable like so, bunch it up like that, and then have it routing in over the top of the power supply here in between the 10 amp and 5 amp fuses.
Just like so. Where does it go in relation? So it goes over the top of the other power cable. Between these. Just want to have it like that, and then which way around does this orient itself? I think it's like so. I don't know if you can see, let's move the camera in here a little bit. That's located nicely. And that will do.
So we're just looking to orient the power supply cables like this, so they don't cover over these screw terminals. And they just go flattish along the side there. And that's because we are somehow going to be placing this screw cover over the top of them, I guess like so. Cable cover, I should say. So we just need to make sure they're oriented nicely, which they are. So in preparation for this, we have to get these, I don't know if you can even see that, these tiny little nuts into these slots on the side of this cable cover. I've had most success in the past with these by just using a pair of pliers to hold on to it, angle it just slightly so that I can get it into the hole like so. And then, I don't know how well that comes out on camera, but just using the end of a screwdriver there to make sure that is in the correct place, which it is. And we'll do the same with the second nut, like so. And that looks good to me. Captain Scrunch. Oh no, it's Mr. T. Hello, Mr. T. What's going on? Are you going to go and help? You know a lot about 3D printing, don't you? Huh? I thought you were more of a Voron guy, huh? You don't like Prusa printers that much. You think they're a bit too commercial, don't you? But they're not. They're excellent. And you can build them yourself like this. Okay. Can Daddy carry on with the build now? No, not yet. Okay, Doc. Right, let's see what the next step is, shall we, Mr. T? If you look on the screen here, we've done that bit, we've put the nuts in place, so we are trying to put this right over the top. Attach the PSU cable cover on the PSU cables. Secure the cover with 2 M310 RT screws in the outermost holes of the part. So there's a little hole towards the side. Okay, so it's basically, yeah, I know, Mr. T. This is the part. And what this is basically saying is we are screwing down through the outside holes, not the ones that we just put a nut into. They're there for something else. I guess they're there to secure the covers over the power supply itself and the xBuddy box itself. So we're going through the outermost holes of this into the board. Let's give that a go. So let's place it in like so. Hopefully I can do it without completely obscuring the picture. Push it down like that. Make sure the cables inside are not snagged, which they aren't. And then we're going into the outermost hole. Screwing it down like so. If you can release the screwdriver, please. Thank you. And the same here on the other side. It's the outermost hole, not the inner hole. I think we're screwing into nothing. No, seems like it is screwed in. Okay, no, perfect. Doesn't that look nice? No dangling cables in between the power supply and the xBuddy. Next up, fan grid. Electronics and chamber parts, electronics, chamber parts, electronics, chamber parts. So, guiding the thermistor cable through the fan shield like so, leaving these red parts out, and the thermistor just sticks in. Okay, the whole head of the thermistor has to stick out like so. And we're zip tying it. And the warning is what? Make sure the header of the zip tie is facing the same way as the picture. So as I can see, this is the same on both sides, so it doesn't matter which way we orient it until we actually thread the thermistor in. So we take our thermistor, thread it through one. We don't have much clearance with where these red heat shrink tubes are on the back of it, so just through there like so. And then finally, if we can, get in that side. So just the head of the thermistor comes out like so. We've got this wound in like that. These cables are held there. We are taking our zip tie. Get in there. Okay. Make sure that the head of our zip tie is oriented this way around. Bring the tail through. Through there. Like so. Make sure that it stays towards the bottom like so. Thread it in like that. Bugger. It's managed to snap that. Nice. Probably no matter, but you can't put much pressure onto this. So be careful. As you're doing this tie-up, maybe just hold on to this. You can't put pressure on these side pieces. I think that's about all I can manage, really. It just holds it in place. Cut it off nice and snug. Like someone managed to have a worse experience than me. Perhaps I should have read that comment first. But anyway, this is fine. It's going to be secured in multiple places, so it doesn't matter if there's a little crack somewhere in it. Okay, now we are going to be inserting the fans. So placing the back panel like this. Taking our two fans. So these fans have a sticker on them like that. That has to be facing towards the case. So this side faces up. So we orient them like this. Leave the cables free for the moment. Then we put our fan grid assembly on top. thermistor has to be on the top. This cable runs underneath, like so. So our fans are in place like that. We place this assembly over the top with the thermistor pointing this direction, which is towards where the chamber will be. Align the holes in the fans, fan grid, and the back panel. The return of the locating screwdrivers. So we'll locate one fan like so. The other fan like so. Captain Scrunch! You're back again! You make a lot of visits these days. And with those aligned, we can now secure with the 4M3x30 Captain Scrunch. Feel like that. It's bowing in a bit there. I don't like that. Let's just release some of the pressure on that. Possibly this is snagging, is it? This part will be a prime candidate for reprinting, I think. Or printing from scratch, because I don't think it's a printed part at the moment, but I think it will be. Attach the rear profile to the right corner using the end without flanges. This end does not have flanges, that's the one that we want to use. As you can see, this end does have them, so that's to go towards the top. Hold it in place. Okay, dokie. Let's turn you around a little bit. It's basically not even registered. Okay. Nice. Getting these little ones started is a pain. They do not want to go in. No. Okay, let's take the other one out first. You can see where it's tried to go in quite away from where it's supposed to be. Okay, that's gone in. So I'm just going to keep that loose and try and get the one in the other side first. Once we've got a few threads on each side, and we can just gradually tighten them up one by one. No, that's not in, is it? No. No, it's not even in. Oh my God, this is nowhere near. Okay, that's registered there, so I'm going to hold this firmly in place. The screws moved on the screwdriver head. Oh dear. Let's just do that again. No. No, it's not in. Maybe it's this screw. Well, that took some doing.
Double bedding. Is that comfortable enough, Captain Scrunch?
Okay, so next we are placing the back panel like so. So it's a slightly lift and then insert one nylon rivet through the rear panel and rear profile on the top right side. like so. I guess this is just to align everything. Push the rivet head with your finger until fully seated. Use this procedure for all 11 nylon rivets around the back panel assembly to secure it in place. So the back panel assembly is going to get placed slightly raised. I guess like so. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3 across here. And there we have it. So stepper splitter cable and stepper splitter. Okay, so we've lowered it onto its back like that, inserted a pad underneath to protect the Wi-Fi module, as it says. So guide stepper motor cable through the zip ties on the left side. Like so. Why do we want the stepper splitter cable going there? Oh, I guess it's going to go up into the... Oh, okay. That's going to go up into the back somewhere, isn't it? So, fine. Okay, like so. So we now want to connect this little splitter module to those 4 cables. I'm not certain it makes a difference which way they are going in, but the output has to be this marked one on the top left here. But obviously we've got the right one coming in, then this left one at the top and the other left one at the bottom. So we take our stepper splitter module, so we don't make any mistakes. The first thing we'll do is plug the output to our splitter cable, which is definitely this one, right? That goes into this one here by the triangular corner. Okay, it goes in sideways. Like so. Then we have our Z-axis right cable, which goes in like so. Then we have the, what do you call that, the left front motor, which is Z-axis left, into that one there. And then finally, the right side one into here. And that's our splitter module fully populated. So it's going to go onto these pins here. And it should go with the logo upside down, the triangular corner in the bottom, the back of the board facing us. Right, the tip here says to squeeze the front of those pins with needle nose pliers just to bring them in a bit. I don't know if you can even see what I'm doing up here. Okay. That is on. Took a little bit of convincing, but we're done. Next, we need the LCD cable and the main, what's that, functional earth? Functional earth cable. Okay, guide the stepper splitter cable through the oval hole to the electronics. So taking the stepper splitter cable and divide, just put that through into the electronics area. Okay, that's through like so. Take the end of the XLCD cable that has the QR code on it, which is this end. I'll push a few centimeters of that through the oval hole on the bottom panel. This might be better if we can see what we're doing. So just guide it through here. Obviously it's going to plug in over here somewhere, so we need to keep that sort of length available. So we need to guide it up through the zip ties. There's one. Two. That's three. Now guide through the rectangular opening on the front profile. Keep protruding approximately 6 centimeters. Like so. Okay, so we have a functional earth cable. We've got one spade connector, and a ring connector, spade connector, ring connector, spade connector. So this is the number 1 end. Number 3 connector needs to go over this lug inside here, if you can see that, which I can't. Rock it on a bit, that seems okay. That's perfect. And 2 needs to go through the hole by the power supply. Just like completely obscured by power supply cables. End 2 needs to come through here. It's quite tight fit around these power supply cables, but in you go. There we go. That's through like so. And we're taking the number 1 connector and we've got to feed that up through the zip ties here on this side. And then that goes through the square opening at the top like so. And now we can tighten all 3 of those zip ties. And flush cut any excess for those zip ties there. Just flush cut these. As best we can, we don't have very good access to it. Okay, so next we're looking on the other side. We're putting these final 2 connectors through into the electronics hole, which is over this side. We've put those connectors through. Now we tighten the zip ties. Don't fully tighten them. So we still want to be able to move the cables up and down. How does that not? Okay, so that's all of that done. So I still have this self-tapping screw. I've obviously missed wherever that's supposed to be put in. Oh. Aha, there we go. Self-tapping screw is supposed to go into that one. So yeah, that's an advantage of keeping your screws in a little box like this, a little pot like this. You realize that you've got one left over when you shouldn't have had one left over. So let's go back and do that section quickly. That was supposed to be in here. quite the right size. Let's try that. There we go. Okay, so that's that. Let's go back to where we were. Now we need M3W washer and M3/6 screws, one of each. So that's for attaching the ring terminal connector to that bottom corner of the xBuddy board. So let's do that. We take our ring terminal connector. We've got our screw with washer already on it. Let's put that through there. And randomly guide it towards the place where it needs to go. Try and get a thread. This is slightly too small. Okay, there we go. That's better. That's in nice and tight. And following that, we're guiding the black cable up and out the top right of the rubber grommet holes. And go behind everything else and up there like so. Don't know where it's going. There's not a lot of space. Interesting. So that shows it being able to reach there. Okay, that's fine. According to the diagram, that looks fine. And we're also bringing up our motor cable like so. That's going maybe over the top like that. And then we're going to connect our Z-axis stepper motor cable into that second one along. And of course, this one's already populated with the cable that goes between the two boards. So second one along on the main board is where we're looking for that. Like so. And there we go. That's our first motor connected to the motherboard. Very nice. Arrange the cables as shown. Route all cables along the right side of the xBuddy box. Make sure all the cables guide through the zip ties in the xBuddy box, not under them. So we're bringing the LCD cable up and then connecting it. Okay, so we need to route this cable up and it needs to plug in like so. And it's going to go over the top of these other cables that we've just routed. These need to be within their respective zip ties. They are. So this cable comes up. And it's going to connect in somehow. I don't like that. I don't like that. Try and bring it at right angles so we can see what we're doing properly. Okay, that's in. That looks snug to me. I can go down a little bit. Back through the hole. It's saying we can do up this bottom zip tie. Snip the zip tie, but not any cables. So just need to remove this screw here from the power supply circuit board. There, still with its washer on, and then we need to install this ground lead into that section. If I can get it roughly in place there, and hope that this screw does not fall off. So that's installed nicely like so, and keeping clearance for the top of the other screw, which is where our cover's going to go into, I think. And now finally we take our printed part cover, slide that in there like so. Oh, that's annoying. Right. Let's try Prusa One. Okay. There we go. So it seems that building a 3D printer from scratch, whilst learning how to film yourself doing it, takes a lot of time. Who knew? We only got the back section built in the end, with one hopefully insignificant breakage in the process. Next time, I guess it will just be the heat bed assembly. I'm trying to keep these videos under 1 hour in length, so it's unlikely that I'll be able to complete more than one build section per video, and I'd rather not leave one halfway complete at the end. If you enjoyed the video, or at least found it useful, please give it a like or leave a comment. If you want to see more, why not hit subscribe? And, as always, thanks for watching.
Oh, is that comfy? Is that comfy, Mr. T? Oh, good. Oh, good. There's a bed on top of another bed. It's very fluffy.